Hello, my love. Welcome back. My name is Montel, and this is a channel where self-mastery meets work in progress. So today we're going to discuss the 10 daily habits that you can start to implement to reinvent yourself. Now, when we discuss reinventing yourself on this channel, what we're essentially talking about is the internal feeling of reinventing yourself. Of course, there are physical ways that you can reinvent yourself. You can go get plastic surgery, you can change your hair color, you can drastically change your appearance in ways. But I know when we discuss reinvention on this channel, we're really talking about that internal feeling, that feeling of being confident, being bold, being self-assured, all of those inner reinventions. That's what we're looking for. So the first thing I really thought was important to mention is that it is a feeling. As you know, with feelings, they change, they come and go, they're very temporary, and we actually have the power to change our thoughts and feelings in any given second, in any scenario, in any moment. We can change our thoughts, and having the ability to change your emotions is just like building any new habit. It's going to take time. It's like a muscle. You constantly have to train it. But if you are conscious about changing your feelings in any moment, it will become easier and you won't allow your emotions to always take control. And there's a very simple exercise that you can do, and this is something I started doing a while back now, years ago, when I was working in a role in a 9 to 5 that it was work from home, but it was a call center, customer service, and I just felt so restricted. And one of my core values is freedom, so it was really conflicting with my core values, and it was making me feel very depressed, very miserable at the time. So I just simply started asking myself, okay, how do I actually want to feel today? My circumstance is not going to change. I still need to work. So how do I really want to feel? And that, of course, at the time was free. So that was one of the main feelings I wanted to feel. I wanted to feel free, but I also wanted to feel secure. I would journal. I used to journal this. Now I more so just ask myself on a day-to-day, how do I want to feel? So it's now become a mental exercise. But if you're just getting started with this, I would definitely suggest writing it down. So I used to ask myself the same journal prompt every single day. How do I want to feel today? And then I would write down 3 different feelings that I wanted to feel throughout that day. So the main one was always free. So if I wanted to feel free in that day, knowing that I still had to work, what are some of the other smaller things that I could do to fulfill that emotion and that feeling inside? So I used to write things like, I could take a walk today, I could go shopping after work, I could go to the gym, just little things like that. But by actually doing those action steps, I became much happier throughout my days, because yes, I still had my commitments, but I knew that I had things to look forward to that would fulfill my values and the feeling. Another one was I wanted to feel secure. So what are 3 action steps I can do to feel more secure today? So that could look like actually doing my 9 to 5. That could be working on my business. That could be speaking to my family, my friends, my boyfriend. Those are things that bring me a lot of security and safety. So that brought me so much fulfillment and peace throughout my day, and those was feelings I was able to create for myself. So that is the first thing. Ask yourself, how do I really want to feel today? If for you it's you want to feel confident, maybe write down 3 things that you can do in that day to feel more confident. And if you commit to this being a daily action, over time you're going to start naturally feeling whatever feeling you rose, whether that's confident, secure, free, whatever your values are. You'll naturally start to feel that, because every single day you've committed to an action that's allowed you to still be present in that feeling. So then next, you want to create an environment that is going to support your upgrade. Environment is so important for how we feel, how we show up, how we act. And when I was thinking about this point, I was really thinking about, you know, when you go to, let's say, a really nice hotel, or maybe you're on holiday and you're staying at a beautiful resort and everything is so prestige, they've got such a top class gym, and it's like an instant switch that goes off in your mind, and you instantly just feel like a reinvention of yourself. You walk in with your head held high, your chest up high, and you're just walking like, yes, like, yeah, I feel great in this place. I look great. I am great. And you just unleash this next level confidence. And that is what we want to be cultivating on a day-to-day basis. Environment is so important to how you are going to show up. So if you are still in your old childhood bedroom, girl, it's time for an upgrade, because I can bet you that when you wake up every single day seeing your environment just completely out of alignment with the aesthetic that you want or how you want to feel, it's not going to inspire you, it's not going to encourage you. That's why we show up so much better when we are staying at these bougie hotels. We wake up early, we dress nice, we do our hair and makeup nice, we feel great. Why do you think that is? Because environment plays such a huge part. Now, I know that it's not always feasible to just drastically change your environment, but you want to be thinking about what are the small things that you can be doing to better your environment, whether that's just investing in some quality bedding, so at least when you wake up and you make your bed, you can look at a beautiful bed and think, okay, I'm ready to start my day, I'm ready to be productive. Think about the clothes that you wear, the aesthetic that you wear, and this can also extend to the type of people you're around, so the events that you go to. So I've been making such an effort, now I've moved to London, to attend as many events as I can, surrounded by the people that I aspire to be like, or the people that encourage me or motivate me or support me in any way. And that has such a positive impact in how I'm feeling, because when I'm around people who fill up my cup, who inspire me, who motivate me, who encourage me, I just leave thinking, yes, like I've got this, I can do this, and you just have so much more confidence. So that is what I mean by environment. Really be intentional about every single thing you do. So the next thing is to write down your areas for improvement. So we all have areas of improvement, things that we can get better at. Nobody is a perfect human being walking this earth. So you want to be clear on what are those areas for you, where could you improve? And these are things that you want to implement into your daily life. So if you know that you want to improve on your communication skills, I'm saying that because that was one area that I definitely improved on over the past couple of years, and I was very intentional about improving my communication. And once you are clear on what those areas of weakness, you could say, even though I don't really like the word weakness, but it is a weakness because you've got areas that are your strengths and then areas that are slightly weaker. So once you are clear on those areas, then you can start to implement those as daily habits. Something that I've shared quite often on my channel is that I used to have such low self-esteem, zero confidence. I used to walk with my head down. I used to have a lot of eczema all over my face, so I could not even look anybody in the eye. I used to always cover my mouth like this when I was talking because I have eczema over my mouth, and I was so insecure about it. So I knew that was such an area of limitation for me. It was such an area of weakness. So that was the first thing I needed to improve, and I made it a daily effort to at least speak to one person, even if it was just my local shopkeeper, even if it was the bus driver. I would speak to at least one person with my arm down without having to go like that, because it was almost like just an instant maneuver. I would not literally be able to speak to somebody without doing that. So I would have to, if I was speaking to somebody, I would have to just hold my hand down. Like, it was that serious. I had to be so intentional about holding my arm down, and sometimes I'd be fighting myself. So I'd be like this to the shopkeeper, hi, yes, yeah. And my arms just really wanting to go up like that. But it was that real, and this is a habit that I thought I would never be able to break because it was just so real. That was my life for how many years? And this was back when I was maybe how old? Probably like 16, 17 actually. It's quite young. And yeah, I just was very intentional about putting my hand down. So over time, I noticed that I was doing it less and less, and before you know it, I could have a full-blown conversation with somebody without having to put my hand down. And it actually took me quite a while to realize, I don't do that anymore. Like, it was just, I completely reinvented myself. That was no longer in my existence. I just completely forgot that I used to do that. So this is how the daily intention can really start to compound in your life. And some of the things that you thought you'd never be able to improve on, before you know it, you've improved, and it feels like it just happened overnight. But in the beginning, you have to really create that intention and create that force that, no, I'm going to do this, I'm going to improve, and I know that eventually it's going to happen. The next thing is that you want to start taking action with minimal distractions. When it comes to reinventing yourself, you have to be the one who is clear on who it is that you actually want to become. And I created a video recently about vision planning and stepping into your new season, and all of this is really going to take focus. I know that our generation has so many distractions that it's difficult to really hear our own voice, hear our own thoughts and feelings. We're constantly on social media hearing the opinions of other people. And I know sometimes it's great that you can just put on a YouTube video or you can just scroll on Instagram and get some inspiration. Yeah, that's great. But you also want to be clear on who it is that you want to become, not what you're seeing, not what's trending, not what's the current aesthetic, because you can follow all the trends, all the aesthetics, but if that doesn't truly align with you, then you're still not going to be happy. So it really is just about learning how to take that focus and intentional action for the life that you're wanting to build. There's a book that I actually want to recommend, but I'm not going to recommend the full book itself because I want to be realistic. We're moving into the holiday season, Christmas is coming up, family is the priority. I know that reading a book right now, it's not on everyone's agenda. So I want to make it easy for you, and there's a platform I've been using which is called Shortform. Now, they are the sponsor of today's video, but I have truly been loving their platform. So what Shortform provide is a one-page book summary guide. So they take some of the most popular self-development books and they will condense it down into a one-pager, taking all of the key points from the book, but then they also add their own spin on it, and they ask really great questions on there, and it's just a great way to have a full summary of a book without actually having to read the book, but then also having some action points. From there you can then decide, okay, I actually want to read the full book so I can go deeper into this, or you can say, you know what, that was enough, that's all I needed, and I'm happy with the information I got. So the book I want to recommend is called Deep Work, and I think I've got the physical book somewhere, and I started reading it over summer. I think I read like maybe the first chapter and then life got in the way. So being able to read the summarized guide on Shortform has been so helpful just to get those key points. So if you're somebody who is really needing to learn how to focus again, like a lot of us, then I would definitely recommend checking out Shortform and reading their one-page guide, and that will definitely get you on the right track. Shortform publishes new book guides and articles every single week in topics such as self-improvement, personal development, and business. To get 5 days of unlimited access and an additional 20% discount on your annual subscription, click the link in my description box. So the next habit that I want to share to reinvent yourself is daily prayer. Now, I haven't really shared a lot in terms of my own faith on this channel. I'll give you a bit of context now, but I know this needs a full video in itself so I can really go into depth, and I will definitely be sharing my full testimony sometime soon. I'm just really waiting to hear that message from God, how he wants me to share it. But I was saved back in December 2021, so it's almost been a year now, and it has honestly been the best year of my life. I feel like I have been the most transformed, I've been the most at peace, I've been the most clear on my calling, my purpose, direction, and I've seen the most success, and it's success that that brings me fulfillment. So that all really came from prayer and getting closer to God, building a relationship with him, understanding the calling he has for my life. Honestly, the way God has shown up for me this year, I know he's present, I know he's there, and I know he's always listening. So speak out to him, and the path will then start to present itself when you're ready to surrender to what the will for your life is. So the next daily habit to reinvent yourself is to always be optimistic. As I shared earlier, we get to decide our feelings in any given moment. A situation that you may have previously considered as a negative, always look for the positives in that situation. How could it have helped you? How is it supporting your growth? What have you learned? What have you taken away? What's it saved you from? I was watching a sermon by Pastor Mike Todd the other day, and he put into perspective that the thing that didn't happen was preparing you for the best thing to happen. I really love that because it's a great way to reframe any negative thing that could have happened. So let's say you didn't get get that job that you applied for. Yes, in that moment it's disappointing, but see the positives in that. Maybe you didn't get that role because that was only supposed to be a practice run, so you can then go apply and interview and get the best role of your life. So always be optimistic. Everything happens for a reason. So then next is to challenge yourself to do something different every single day. Now you've got the list of areas for improvement that you created earlier. You then want to think, what is one thing that I can do from this list every single day that is going to allow me to step into my next level? And it doesn't have to be anything drastic. It can be a small little change. And I was watching a random but very inspirational video before I started filming, and the woman on that video was sharing how, I can't remember what country she lives in, a very cold country, but anyway, she was sharing how December 21st is the darkest day of the year for them, and then from there every day becomes 90 seconds lighter. So the 22nd is lighter, 90 seconds, and then before you know it, it's summertime and it's light again. And that just puts into perspective how the smallest changes over time really start to compound and create the most results. So the next is to use your calendar and really stick to it. In order to truly reinvent yourself, it's about you creating the reality that you want to see. It's not letting life just happen to you. You want to be creating that life for yourself. And it is going to take effort for you to schedule in how you want your days to look. What is the priorities? What are the actions that you're going to do to really step into your next level and reinvent yourself? And then the next daily habit to reinvent yourself is to share your priorities with somebody. So this could look like getting an accountability partner, and maybe every single day you share what it is that you want to achieve that day so you can reflect and follow up. And there's just so much power in speaking it and putting it out there to the world. It's one thing us keeping how we want to reinvent ourselves in our head, or what area of improvement we're going to work on today, but there's really a difference with sharing that with somebody. So for me, I either share it with my boyfriend when we have a call in the morning. We'll just share what we're working towards that day. Or if you're somebody who thinks, well, I don't really have anybody to share with, then you could share maybe on your Instagram stories. So you could write out your to-do list on your stories so people can see what you're getting up to, and then throughout the day you can start ticking things off. So that would be a great way that you can share it and just hold yourself accountable, because honestly there's so much power in telling people what you're up to, because then it immediately feels like you just have to do it. So yeah, that is it for this video. My battery is just about to die, so I'm gonna wrap up this, but I hope you enjoyed. I hope this was helpful. Make sure you do check out short form. All the details will be in my description, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.